Greetings, all you late night listeners. Welcome to WDDC, all David DeCoteau radio all the time, 24/7, coming to you undead from beyond the grave. It's NXWW, your horror host who's totally horrific. So, before we get on with tonight's program, we're going to read some reader mail. This is a reader-submitted review of the David DeCouteau classic from the 1990s, Shrieker. Now, there are spoiler warnings in case you have not seen the movie Shrieker and do not want to have it spoiled. Don't watch the remainder of this video. Onward with our program. Oh, hey, dude from Shrieker who is living in the basement of the hospital who just happens to have like some homemade binders of apostolic symbols and shit, and will answer those sorts of questions in detail, but responds to more mundane stuff with cryptic plasm. Shrieker is real good so far. I am going to like most movies with tables of sigils applied by candlelight. He is like every 90s wannabe sorcerer who lives in a basement boyfriend, but he is pretty cute. Everyone in 1990 had that haircut? On TV anyway. I love the David DeCouteau abandoned hospital squat vibe. It totally is like MTV's The Real World if one of them was a revolutionary communist. It is so clean, and the math girl's room is kind of adorable. David DeCouteau is one of the most architectural filmmakers, even more so than Chantal Akerman, maybe. This makes me sad and long for Chantal Akerman filmed Hallmark Christmas movies that are like 30-minute shots looking out the windows of trains onto snowy fields broken only by deer tracks and a waning moon recently full. The old ones didn't all die in the flood, or the ones that did and are still here, it's all good. They get lonely. They miss the old days sometimes, but they are glad to be present, corporeal or not. Their bodies, if they have them, get cheap and translucent looking, less rather than more real, as if they can't maintain specificity, the muscle memory required to hold ID, or the loss goes the other way. They become indistinguishable from dirt and rocks and sand and piles of trash that get shifted and tossed by a strong breeze. Everywhere and nowhere, like flame retardant escaped from discarded mattresses in the late 1970s, winding up in the core of the sun. Did that just happen? The guy on TV who fixes gaps and holes with the universal anti-solvent, how is his name Phil Swift? I don't buy it. He is no more than a figurehead, but what lay in the howling vastness beyond? I love that the I'm not gay dude who is responsible for plant maintenance never puts on a shirt. I love that Math Girl has an esoteric and an exoteric boyfriend. Will she also date the Shrieker? I really hope so. Why is this movie a better depiction of ANCAP StatCom Twitter feuds than all of the other movies that have been filmed about that topic? Okay, the mechanical engineering dude does put on a shirt, but not until 34 minutes in. Also, it is a sleeveless white tank, so... Wait. Also, there are boys who do not want a girl to describe fourth-dimensional topology to them. Who are these boys? Wait, Nathan. It is only a movie. I will keep telling myself that. Maybe he is an evil wizard who is just pretending to not like math. I like the basement sorcerer boyfriend more and more because his message in life is go chill with the monster and you will be liberated, which is, of course, completely true and also probably excellent advice. Not only that, but he executes a disinformation program to ascertain what someone else knows and then uses their capacity to defeat the disinformation program as an initiatory opening to wisdom. That rules, even if it is a sneaky 90s boy thing to do. This movie is about why anarchist roommates end up exerting the most interference. Take that, 90s hippies who thought I was weird and uptight. You were right. I am weird and uptight, and I should not have roommates. But you dudes were super judgy and moralistic, and you put up exhortative signs full of imperatives up in your own spaces. That freaked me the fuck out because I am just here looking for my friend's friend because I heard that he knew where my friend was, my friend who hopefully has weed, but instead I am talking to you about your chore rotation, and I don't even live here. This is fucked up. A specter is haunting the hospital. The specter of communism. By Lenin's ghost. 1990 seen as a dying ideology swept away by the end of history, the neoliberal kingdom having arrived showily with groans and mass incarceration. The only way the United States will house all of its citizens is through jailing them, and still they make us pay. A David DeCoteau communist state is a very large house full of tank tops, optional for everyone. I don't think that the Shrieker sounds scary. I think they sound lonely and sad, as if they had been here a long time, called from a great distance, only to be used for violence and then left alone, which, ask anyone, sucks completely, like a kitten raised only to fight. Typical ANCAP dude with a gun calls the pigs the moment the shit gets real, fucker, and then unloads in panic at innocent bystanders. Awesome. I love you, David DeCouteau. You truly are a seer of radical 21st century politics. No, wait, it's always the same. This is what it was like in 19th century specter-haunted old Europe, except way less gnarly beards and way more tank tops. Except that, like David DeCouteau, even if he could have foreseen the inevitable revival of gnarly 19th century beards, would not have put them in this movie, so we will never know. What I want to know is how many 90s dudes ended up with funky, sick, tribal mod prim armband tats that were really the Shrieker sigil. Do they have a Facebook support group or something? It is unrelentingly awesome that at the climax of Shrieker, the occult Shrieker controller, inscribed with the apostolic engrams like, takes off their shirt and delivers their evil villain speech. You wouldn't understand. Totally shirtless, awaiting the arrival of the Shrieker through interdimensional teleport. Amazing. I guess I spoke too soon. Not even the real villain, OFC, but you know, even foxier. Is it wrong to have these feelings? I know that I would have dated the Shrieker or Shrieker controller or both of them. I don't know. I know what I like. What can I say? Thus concludes the reader mail portion of our transmission. Apologies for the air conditioner. Due to global warming, here at the end of the world, when it is almost officially fall, it is so hot that the AC kicks on automatically. But I wanted to get this content out to the people and not have to wait until midnight when the heat goes down to record and disseminate. So here's to you, loyal WDDC listeners, keeping it real despite your completely unglamorous host and a tremendous welter of surface noise. We love you all. Peace out, and we'll catch you next time on David DeCoteau Radio.